America, the nation that comes busting into your country with guns blazing and dicks out. The self-proclaimed police force of the world, if you will. Got a dictator that we don't like? Dead. Got a different ideology than us? Dead. Got someone who likes Neapolitan ice cream? Dead. We kill them all so you don't have to. In fact, us Americans are so badass that despite how fucking pathetic we were when we went to war with England back in the late 1700s, we somehow won, and it's still a mystery to this day how we somehow defeated the most powerful nation in the world at the time. But don't worry, England, things didn't go so well for us during the aftermath of the war. However, we did manage to recoup, and once we were able to grab our nuts again, we decided to become a police force. You know, there's that old saying that goes, with great power comes great responsibility. But we're America, so we just use our power to suppress things we don't like. Kind of like how the church tried to suppress rock and roll in the 1950s. I mean, obviously it didn't work, because you can't suppress rock and roll, and there is no parole for rock and roll, which also happens to be the name of the album I'm reviewing today by Alcatrazz. Zzz.
Released in 1983, Alcatrazz features an unknown guitarist at the time, Yngwie Malmsteen. Malmsteen would eventually go on to have a very successful solo career, only to be overshadowed by his massive ego. But I'll get back to him in a little bit. Despite the album's title talking about rock and roll, this is actually a heavy metal album, and it definitely screams 80s. On vocals on here, we have Graham Bonnet, who was also part of the band Rainbow. He's got some great pipes on him, and they go great with heavy metal. The reason I say that is because when he goes for the higher pitch notes, he's able to maintain a nice pitch that doesn't come across as screeching or annoying or unpleasant to the ears. And it's also really cool to hear when he and the rest of the band harmonize. It sounds really good, actually, and it really, what's the word? I wouldn't say elevate the music, but it really just goes well with the music, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The album also features some audible bass, which is always a plus in my book, and a keyboard as well. The keyboard actually adds to the overall music on here instead of, you know, being just a background sound. It gave the music kind of a glam metal feel or vibe. Not to the point where it became like pop metal or, you know, cheesy or anything like that, but it definitely added to the overall sound and kind of soothed or smoothed out some of the harshness of the heavy metal, if that makes sense. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I thought the keyboard was really well utilized on here. Lastly, I have to cover the riffs on here. The band has Yngwie Malmsteen on lead guitar. When you listen to the guitar solos on here, they are very elaborate and kind of classical sounding as well. But the riffs, while definitely not bad, they just pale in comparison. I mean, you can obviously hear that the guitarist, even if you didn't know it was Malmsteen, you can obviously tell this guy knows how to play some damn good stuff. So it begs the question as to why the riffs aren't given the same treatment as the solos. I know obviously solos are supposed to be more elaborate and all that kind of stuff, but why couldn't the riffs have been like spiced up as well? I mean, this album could have easily broken the mold of heavy metal at the time and would have brought something new and perhaps would have like stood out amongst like the sea of other albums that were released in the 80s. Overall, though, I definitely enjoyed this great / good album. It's an 80s heavy metal album that is worth checking out if you haven't already, because as mentioned before, the 80s had a ton of metal releases, and sometimes the bigger ones overshadowed the smaller ones, and these smaller ones are still really damn good. You just gotta dig down to find them is all, but I enjoyed it, and I'm sure anyone else who enjoys 80s heavy metal will enjoy it as well. And yeah, that's all I got for this review. I hope you all have a great 4th of July. For those not from the USA, well, then I'm assuming it's just another day for you. So keep living your life, I guess. And please don't forget to like and subscribe and make sure you tell a friend to do the same. And I will see you at the next review.